Listen to the sweet sounds of the cicadas. The perfect soundtrack for putting in our swivel seat. Alright, so we ordered the Scopema swivels from the swivel shop. Unfortunately, the passenger one is on back order, but we have the front one. It has a lot of space for the airbag wires, and it comes with all of the nuts and bolts that we need, which is great because we're not going to have to figure out what we need to install the seat. Step 1.
Clear your workspace.
Look at all those cicadas. Ugh. So many cicadas. Now that that's done, you're going to take out your battery. First, you're going to have to turn the little circles with a key, but then you can just pull it out, and it's really easy. Once you've gotten to your battery, you're going to need to turn it off or disconnect it by flipping the switch. And then you're going to want to take the cord and fold it away so that it's no longer touching the battery. So you're going to want to hold it down with something so that it doesn't touch it again. Once you've disconnected the battery, you're going to need to wait 10 minutes before you do anything. And that's what this is all about. The circle of life right here. That's them mating. There's
Explain it though.
2 bolts over here, and then there's 4 more in the back. We're going to remove the bolts like this with this
impact wrench.
We're going to remove the bolts and then move the seat completely back. Now that the bolts are off, you're going to want to take the seat up and back and off so that you can clear.
Be careful that you don't pull these cords out.
Yeah, you want to be really careful because the cords are all still attached right there. Awesome. So now the seat is off and we're ready for the next step. So the wires are all zip tied together, but you're going to want to clip the zip ties to give yourself a lot more slack. Now we've got to disconnect these 2 wires from each other. First, you use the pliers to push them through and disconnect them from the seat. Ta-da! Now you're going to want to separate them. Dylan, tell us how.
So this thing right here is holding them in place with the spring. So what you want to do is you want to pull this back, pull it back like this, and then pull it apart. So
ta-da! And do the same with the orange one. Awesome. Now the seat is completely detached from its chair. So we have our swivel all lined up on top of the holes. You have to turn it a little bit using the lever so that you can access all of the holes. Using the Allen wrench to tighten the bolts, you're going to use the shorter bolts to tighten into the seat. Look at that, smooth, looks great.
So we're not going to tighten them all the way yet because we want to make sure that they all fit first.
Now all the bolts are on and look at this thing go, woo! For the Ram Promaster, you're gonna have one of these extra pieces.
To lift it so that it doesn't.
You won't need to lift it so that this doesn't hit the seat.
And after we take the seat and put the bar, we're gonna set it back on here. And then these get threaded like this up through the middle. And then you put this on top of the bar and tighten it down.
All right, let's try it. All right, so you line up the chair when you put it back on, and you gotta screw in these nuts, these nut locks. And then this is a nylock, and you want the nylon to be on the top. It's gonna stop twisting with your hands. and that's when you have to use a wrench to finish twisting it. Once you've tightened as much as you can with your hands, you're gonna need to use a wrench.
Socket wrench?
A socket wrench to tighten it all the way. It might take some maneuvering of the chair, so we swiveled it a little bit. As you can see, the sweet swivel works. We've turned it all the way around, and now we're gonna reconnect the battery.
You reconnect by just pushing this in, make sure it lines up, and this will come all the way back and then spring back into a place with a nice click.
Nice. Beautiful. Now we're gonna tuck these away.
You don't need pliers this time. They should just tuck up and press in.
Nice. And they're back.
So as you can see, the wiring is kind of loose in here, and this part is what swivels right here. And if this gets caught, you know, we don't want it to move around. So we don't have it right now, it's on the way, but we'll probably put some plastic tubing around this to make sure that it stays like this in the middle instead of getting caught on any of these sides.
Now it's time to reconnect the battery. We're gonna take this, which we tucked away so it wouldn't touch anything, and put it back on the end.
And then tighten it like this.
Boom, it's connected. And we've got ourselves a swivel seat. All right.